Hi guys, on a rather nice sunny Thursday afternoon, 2/3 of the way through May. Couple of days time be 53, but that's of no consequence today. Just a short video on the cutting tools that I have. I shall go through the knives and stuff that I take out with me when I go for a day out in the woods or an overnight, maybe just a bit longer. I'd like to reiterate that this is my own personal preference. There are many knives, tools for the woodsman out there, ranging from a few pence to a few £1000s. It depends what you're comfortable with and how long it's going to last. I tend to think sometimes that equipment is made just to catch the eye of the woodsman rather than actually performing as a decent tool. Some of the tools I've inherited, and I will point these out as I go through them, and some tools I bought from you. I'll see you in a minute. Right, welcome to some more woodworking tools. Now, I do a little bit of green wood carving and some green woodwork, not enough to constitute buying a coppice or buying some woodland, but you know, with what I find. So I'm going to go through some of the bits and pieces that I have, and hopefully you'll enjoy this little video. Right, first of all, the contents of my toolbox. I have a toolbox there. Within this I have no less than 4 hook knives. I have a large and a small. I've got 2 right-handed and 2 left-handed, because sometimes instead of carving like that I like to carve that way as well. I have a Indian one-handed knife. The names escape me at the moment, but obviously we recognise the knife. The handle I made myself. You can buy the blade as a single item and you carve your own handle. I'll put it up a little bit closer, you can see the work I've done on it. Crook knife, that's what it's called. It's called a crook knife. I would have preferred a slightly longer blade, but this does the job. It's made by Svante Dahl in Sweden, and well, the blade is, and it's very good. I'm pleased with the effort I've put into making a handle. The handle incidentally is made from birch. I've got a small Sloyd knife from Eric Frost of Mora. It does the job with the ubiquitous plastic sheath, which I'm in the process, as I mentioned earlier, of changing them. Red-handed clipper knife. I'm going to keep this is solely for wood carving and nothing else. It stays in the wood carving box. A small chip knife made by FlexiCut. Does some very nice work. And an awl. In the bottom of the box I have a FlexiCut draw knife. Does the job perfectly. Three rasps, a round rasp, half round and flat. A chisel, this I inherited off my lady's late father. A spoke shave, or spoke plane, and a small set of FlexiCut knives for carving. That's what's in the box. Outside of the box, a And these are all tools I've inherited off my lady's late father. Right, Kent pattern bill hook used for snedding. It's basically taking the limbs off trees. Also used for hedge laying or bushing. It's known as a bushing hook in Kent, or a snedding hook, or a Kent pattern bill hook. Can be very sharp. This is in better days. A large draw knife. I've got about half a dozen of these now, all inherited off my lady's late father. Brilliant piece of kit, great for debarking and planing out. A small flat adze. I'm in the process of getting a curved adze, but this is very old. I would assume this is about 70 years old now. Curved blade, flat. This is for knocking pegs in at the back. Lovely piece of work. I've got two of these. The other one is upstairs, needs rehandling. A froe. Obviously used that way up. Great for splitting wood and cleaving. And Mr. Donk that goes with it. This is quite an old donk. It's getting worn out now, and I shall have to make a new one soon. Great things are froes, used for cleaving, and there's a wonderful little book called Woodcraft. I think it's called Woodcraft. I have it upstairs. I might do a review on it. And it was written in the 1940s, and it covers English woodcraft and the number of axes and tools used. Also the meat cleaver was used. Now these axes I've inherited. This is similar size to the Scandinavian large forest axe. I've yet to use it. I've got to dress the head again. It's a German made one called Lettis or Jetties. It's called Oxhead and falls about £2 in weight, and would serve well in the woods. Needs rehanging. Unfortunately the two axe heads I've got here have no handles on, they need rehanging. This was made in 1940. It's got GR on the handle, and it's a Kent pattern axe head used for snedding and basic carving. The blade edge leaves a lot to be desired and needs much work on. This has been sitting in a shed for about 2 or 3 years, quite a damp shed, so it does need a lot of work on it, but the axe itself is still in good form, and I want to put it to good use. And last but not least, my tree felling axe head. I've yet to rehang this one. As you can see, I spent some time knocking the old timber out that was inside it. It's a lovely one. It weighs about £5 in weight. Needs the head redressing again. I shall have a word with a friend about this, and I need to get obviously a new haft for it and then rehang it. I'll probably get a fawn foot. Now that is basically my wood carving tools. I like to do green wood work, and it's a wonderful thing. Start off with a blank piece of wood, and somewhere in there there's a dough bowl, a cook's spoon, butter knife, something to entertain the children with. I might do a demonstration at some future point on using some of these tools. I'm no expert, I'm by far no great expert. I'm just a very enthusiastic amateur. Love to have my own piece of woodland. Well, there we go folks, my tools. Thank you. Last but not least, something I carry about my person when I'm just in the woods. I call this the Swiss Army knife of wood carving. It's a flexi cut wood carving thing. You've got side scorp, half round chisel, spoon knife. On the other side you've got chisel, V-cut scorp and a flat blade. Each blade locks when you open it, and you can only open one blade at a time. A very useful tool. I discovered this when I went on a whittling course up in the Lake District. A friend that I was with there, he had one. He's a kitchen fitter and he keeps one in his toolkit for when he's fitting kitchens. He says it's great. Carry it in my little pouch along with the ubiquitous Swiss Army knife, which does have its place. I don't like using folding blades if I can at all help it. A folding blade will fold back on your hands no matter how careful you are at some point. I discovered this when I was cutting down when I was taking apart a sweat lodge a couple of years back. I lent my Swiss Army knife to one of the people helping me taking the sweat lodge apart. The blade folded up on her hands and she ended up in hospital having a couple of stitches. As with all tools, sharp or otherwise, be very, very careful. Remember, never carve between your legs because you cut off your hose pipe or you might cut into your femoral artery. You will either work away from your body or to one side of your body. I do have a carving DAP table that I've formulated. It's great for when you're carving out spoons or bowls. I hope you've enjoyed this video on my sharps. It's something that I do have a certain passion about, and I do feel a bit, sometimes I'm fighting against the tide because there are many sharps out there and they're there to catch the bushcrafter rather than to be a functional and useful tool. A pretty handle and a flashy blade doesn't make a good tool often. Good bushcrafting, dear people.